What's up to the north side of Milwaukee and also to the place that I call Gwinnett County, Georgia, aka the far, far north side of Atlanta. Shout out to Outkast. Miss Killer Mike did a concert recently, but had to make up for it going to see Sheila E last night. Had to represent with my Outkast shirt since I missed out on. Let's get right into the episode. Episode 9. The first thing I want to get out the way, and I'll try my best to make it short. We will come back to the scene with Jukebox and Marv, but I'm not stupid. I see what y'all doing. Lena Waithe and the Shy has done this. What they trying to do, y'all, is they're trying to depict black as being hateful towards the LGBTQ. And by doing so, they are minimizing how heinous black men and black women have been done by the oppressor side in terms of law enforcement. So it's like we get zero empathy. We get called terrorists just for having rallies to say, no, this can't keep happening. But instead of us getting any support or sympathy, you depict us as being monsters towards that community when the reality is um, our people, even if they aren't accepting of someone, we rarely go to the level of hatred that Marv did in her room. So that's out of the way. I'm done preaching about it. You can call me names in the comments if you want to, but somebody has to stand up for us when there's an unfair projection being put out there, as if we're not, and as if we don't welcome people from different races, religions. Uh, we've always been the most tolerant race out of anybody on this planet, so I just can't stand for that. All right, so Unique was so mad that his son got shot at. But the problem with gangsters on movies and televisions, you just firebombed his little brother's house. If you just firebombed his little brother's house, why should there be any mercy or any consideration that your son was in the car when you coming from the movies? Like you know what this is. Like you wouldn't have cared if Marvin was walking out of the movies with Jukebox. You wouldn't have cared nothing about Jukebox. So it's just always interesting to me how gangsters compartmentalize stuff like that. And they say the get back is gonna be even more vicious because my son was with me. Oh my goodness. Um, Rock, you are a pig. I don't care how beautiful you are. I don't care how smart you are. You are a pig. And I say that to say she basically implied that Symphony was soft for being in love with her. And she just straight up said it. No, it's all good. You'll get over me. You'll probably find you'll find some little college pros to smash on. And he paused for a minute and he said, you. And then she got a kick out of it. I mean, acting just like a man. Her exact words was, finally some heart on this ninja. I didn't think you had it in you. So I wouldn't have given the tip of information that Symphony gave, but he still, I guess, cared about her enough if this is the end of the relationship. Say, Marvin can't trust the white woman from the club. I forget her name, but the one that just tried to set him up the previous episode. He said to make sure that he knows that she can't be trusted. And yeah, I just think that Rock is just too much like a man. Like she got too much testosterone in that little slim petite body to be acting like a whole man like that. So I'm glad he walked out. But I am kind of getting tired of the back and forth. So I don't want to see dude get treated like that and then keep falling for it. Keep coming back. That's not what it is on me. You light skinned in the early '90s. I'll be sure was still cracking in. There's other women in Queens. Trust me. Real interesting, y'all, and y'all let me know in the comments if you agree with me. This is just television land at its finest. What are the odds that a police officer, this police officer, would just happen to be standing while a transaction is taking place. He has the street smarts to know what the transaction is about. Goes and moves Lulu's room, so when they go to shoot him, he has the drop on them and then arrest them. I think that's highly unrealistic. But speaking of unrealistic, what's unrealistic is that he really thought that that would make him good, make him equal, even in terms of street credit with Rock. He really felt like since I did this, I'm in the clear now. Um, and it didn't end up being the case. Um, Nothing helped out that situation for him. And I think that nothing that you do for Rock is ever going to be enough. Ever. Oh man, my phone is messing up. Okay, I'm gonna have to just go off of memory now. Jukebox. Jukebox does not. Jukebox does not reject the advance. As I said, advance of Howard's partner in terms of going to get the ice with her, Italian ice, the slushy or whatever. And my personal thought, I think she just did that because she really wants to see where's. I think she's trying to figure out, does this white woman like me, and is she trying to get me a underage person in bed, or does she really think I'm gullible enough to just be a snitch for her? Because that would be extremely gullible on her part to think that if all people at Juke is just gonna willingly snitch for you. So that was interesting. Um, when Rock has the conversation with Marv, I felt that it was long overdue that he explained to her, "I'm a man." Like nobody ever tells Rock that I'm a man. I raised you and Lulu, and he owned it that he messed up, and that's why she took over. But he also acknowledged that she's smarter than he is. She has more awareness than he does. But just because of that, that don't mean that you can step on me. I'm tired of being stepped on. And she apologized in her own small little way, and then let him know that the way that this issue is going to be resolved is revolution. And I don't feel like this episode did a great job of explaining or showing what Rock's plan is by way of revolution. Um, so Marv is watching the tape of his daughter in the code, and when he slams the TV, my first thought was he broke the tape in. Then when she comes into the room, as I stated at the start, that my rant that they kind of overdoing it. Him tearing up her room is like a child having a temper tantrum. And he knew what it was as soon as she came into the room, just the fact that her room. And then, of course, you got what was supposed to be a joke, which are Lebanese or something. He's so dumb he doesn't even know the word lesbian. But that was probably a bad time to try to throw in some humor, because we know the sensitivity of the issue. And I forget what exactly he did or said to make her spit in his face, but he deserved it. And then when she started coming at him, pop it up, she hit him with the two piece. And I thought that was some impressive fighting skills. But obviously, being a young girl, a high school girl, you can't compete with what we call grown man strength. And thank God something snapped into him for him to let go of her. I call it the Chris Brown moment. Because Chris Brown, if he had not caught himself, he would have took Rihanna out. And for him to be crying, juke, juke, like come back, like no, that's over. If anything, my mind went to the space of I think Howard's detective partner is the only person she can go live with. Unless unless see that's the thing. I don't think if Jukebox went to live with Rock, I think Rock might kill Marvin for trying to choke out her niece. So it might be more of a better move for her to go elsewhere. Unique and Rock give speeches at the same time about how they're gonna end this beef, in this war. It starts tonight. Cameras panning back and forth, scenes going back and forth. Juke shows up with her face just rocked, and the detective doesn't ask her. Well, she does ask her what happened. She doesn't give an answer. I'm not surprised because I think with her admitting that she is a part of the lifestyle, it shouldn't take long to put two and two. Teenagers that run away from disproportionately are LGBTQ. Let me know. I'm gonna wrap this up. Only one more minute left. Let me know when you first saw the black woman talking to Rock in church. You guys immediately make the connection that that was her mama because I did not until she said, um, "Rock, you are your own problem, not me." And then she went down and played bingo, like it was all good. She hates her daughter. So that kind of lets you know when you see messed up people, it usually has a connection to what their relationship with their parents was like. Final scene, rest in peace. I think Detective Howard was one of the best parts of the show. I think Kanan was hesitant to do it at first because probably once again he couldn't believe my mom didn't tell me who this was. But then when his wheels started turning about this is the person that's gonna knock over everything that we have built up, felt like he had to do, he had to do. But excellent job by Omar Epps. I felt that you kept the show very interesting in its first season. See y'all next week. Leave me a like, leave me a subscription, definitely leave me a comment.